This is Reducing Human Impact by Nathan Lee. Our forests. Around 10,000 years ago, 57% of the world was covered in forests. Today, this lush green land only covers around 31% of our planet, a 26% decrease. Around 4.06 billion hectares, or 15.67 million square miles of forest exist. So what's going to happen in the future? The issue. Building roads in remote areas leads to easier transportation of goods. Roads provide access to previously inaccessible land, which leads to logging. Farmers and ranchers slash and burn the remaining land to make it suitable for their agriculture. Forests can also burn down by accident by fires from neighboring lands. This dramatically kills the population of the trees. Carbon is removed from its long-term stable storage, such as rocks, fossil fuels, old-growth forests, into forms that are harmful to the environment. Trees and plants that can store carbon within their parts for centuries. Croplands and pastures that replace them can only store small amounts of carbon for only a fraction of time. The paved developments store little to no carbon, which damages our environment. The solution. So the solution I propose is a Forest Service plus urbanization and agricultural communities that make a plan for the distribution of land. The plan is which unoccupied lands can be devoted to certain activities, such as development, let's say. Industries can continue expanding as well as allowing forests to thrive. Basically, we set apart part for the forest, part for development. Involve the community in reforestation efforts. Schools and camps can make a collaborative effort to team with forest services to make a field trips or annual visits to forests to learn about deforestation and their preventative measures. This will bring awareness to the younger generations and will help prevent this in the future. Events where the community works together to plant trees to help reduce the damage. A fraction of the profits collected from these events can also be dedicated towards future meetings among officials and can also be devoted for buying supplies for future events. So what's the cost of this plan? Majority of the funds needed of the event organization, plans, tools, and commemorative objects would have to be funded by the donations collected from previous events. Meetings among the officials may require additional funding, and it'd be hard to get a large group of people cooperative. The effects of deforestation. To elaborate, some of the most notable effects of deforestation are climate imbalance and climate change, as trees absorb carbon and release oxygen. Trees also release water vapor into the air, which keeps the rainforest humid and the soil moist. Without this, some plants may die. Global warming, as trees take in these greenhouse gases, restores balance in the atmosphere. Without trees, greenhouse gas emissions will increase and eventually kill our planet. Since trees absorb a lot of water too, a decrease in the number of trees might cause floods in some areas and consequently cause droughts in other areas. All of the changes in natural habitats will without doubt cause a loss of biodiversity, as 80% of global biodiversity is located in tropical rainforests. The wildlife that lives in other areas is still affected by the increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We are also affected by this, especially those who are forced to work even in the harshest climate conditions. So is this worth it? The benefits clearly outweigh the costs. Meetings like the COP, United Nations Climate Change Conference, focus on global warming and its effects and how we can prevent it. Decisions made at the summits need to be acted upon. So those that might not like this idea would be farmers, miners, and loggers. This might hinder their development and thus provide a money loss. These companies will never have to completely stop. They can stick to the areas they have, or when certain goals have been made, they could change their approach to growing their respective industries. Farmers in specific, deforestation can lead to a lack of fertile soil, which results in smaller yields and decrease in the quality of crops. This affects us as the consumers directly because we don't have enough food or the quality that we expect. For loggers, they might eventually run out of trees to cut down. Thank you for listening to my presentation.